All right, now we're going to be talking about Punnett Squares. It's Mr. Hammond again. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you guys sticking this out. I love talking about genetics and heredity. It's just interesting. Kind of helps decide some things about why we have the traits that we have. So a scientist by the last name of Punnett developed this tool for determining the chance or percentage chance you'd have of getting a certain set of genes and displaying a certain trait. Gotta switch pencils. My pencil's getting dull. So let's go and draw mom and dad again. Do our little weird caricatures. I'm gonna draw dad over here with his big long chin, his ears sticking out like that, and his big old forehead. And I'm going to give him some crazy straight hair. Mad scientist hair, right? And let's go ahead and give him some eyes. We'll do some simple eyes. A nose. And a smile on his face. There you go, Dad. Good old Dad. And then good old Mom. Mom will give a little bit less of a chin. Always make moms prettier. They're all prettier. It's us men who make our kids ugly. There we go. There's Mom. Put some eyelashes on her because that's like mainly the only difference when you're drawing a cartoon character between a male and a female. And then we'll give her curly hair. Woo! Whoa, yeah. There we go. There's Mom. Okay. So let's imagine that Mom has recessive genes, lower B and lower B. Again, we're going to be talking about eye color because that's kind of what we're sticking with. So we'll say that, I'll write over here to the side actually, a lowercase b equals green eyes. That's the gene for green eyes. And an uppercase B is the dominant for brown eyes. And this is going to be the dominant. Dominant gene, and this is going to be the recessive gene. Voice is cracking. All right, so we should all be set with that. Hope you can see that. There we go. Okay, so Mom and Dad. Dad has a big B and a big B. Okay, so he's a dominant purebred. Mom's a purebred recessive because she has a little b. So she has two recessive genes. And they have a child or are planning on having a child. So the question is, what color of eyes will that child have? Because right now, Dad has brown. There's your brown eyes, Dad. Mom has green. What's the chance that the child will have green eyes or brown eyes? Well, Punnett came up with this idea called the Punnett Square, and it shows us the percent chance that child's going to have of having those eye colors. So let me grab my handy dandy ruler because I got to draw a square. Here we are. And in that square, I'm going to divide it up into 4 sections. Okay, it's like Foursquare, that game. Okay, so if you have $1 and you divide it up into 4 equal parts, you have 4 quarters, and each quarter is worth 25 cents. So if you have a whole and you divide up into each part, each one of these is worth 25%. So I'm in the corner going to say, well, I'll just draw a little line here. I'll just write it right over here. Each little square is a 25% chance. Let's put a cool cloud around that because that's kind of important. Okay, So what we do is we take mom's genes, boom, and we put them up at the top. We put one on that column and one on this column, and this is mom. Then we take dad over here, and we put his dominant gene combination on the left side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring down mom's genes, bring dad's genes across, and put them in each square. So dad would contribute a big B. He could contribute a big B, a dominant gene. Mom could contribute a recessive gene. Dad could contribute a big dominant gene to the child. Mom could contribute a recessive gene. Dad could contribute a dominant gene. Mom could contribute a recessive gene. Dad could also have this dominant gene mixed with this recessive gene. So these are the 4 combinations of children that they could make. And if you look, they're all the same. They're all hybrids. So a hybrid, remember, is one dominant and one recessive gene. So in a case of a purebred recessive trait in a mom and a purebred dominant trait in a dad, they're always going to end up with a hybrid, and that hybrid is always going to have the dominant trait overcome the recessive trait. So you have a 100% chance, because you have 4 squares of the same thing, of the child having brown eyes. Okay? And that's the beauty of the Punnett Square. Now, this is not the same for every situation, because if mom had a different gene combination, you'd come up with different possibilities of children. So again, these are the 4 different possible gene combinations that child could have. And in this case, they're all going to be hybrids, which means the kid's going to have brown eyes. Now, that would change if dad, if he was a hybrid and he was contributing a recessive gene, then a couple of these squares would have the purebred recessive traits or gene combination, and you'd have a chance of a kid with green eyes. So this is just an introduction. We're actually going to go through a number of scenarios so we can start getting in the habit of seeing how the Punnett Square works. And again, it's just a tool of prediction. A tool of prediction that a scientist by the name of Punnett came up and developed. Okay, thank you for joining me for this. You may want to hold on to this because it could be helpful with your concept checks. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and have some fun and do a little coloring and make my picture look cool. You're welcome to do that too, or you can skip it.